again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln with your weekly recap of horse racing on the Racehorse Digest. Well, our feature event, a race scene live here on ESPN this past Saturday, the $1 Million Pacific Classic at Del Mar. Here are the race conditions. Thoroughbred 3 and up, a mile and a quarter, $1 million in the purse. Let's take a look at the field. Closing odds presented by Las Vegas. One scratch. Siphon, the second choice, has Chris McCarron at 2-1. But the big race favorite everyone is keeping an eye on is Gentleman. He's on the outside under Gary Stevens at 1-2. Here's Trevor Denman with the call to the Pacific Classic.
Field for the Pacific Classic, sent on their way. They all came out smoothly. Gentleman broke just a tad sideways, but he's quickly going up on the outside. There goes Crafty Friend in the green cap. And Crafty Friend sent along to lead them. Siphon is racing second, and Gentleman is in third. River Keen has dropped down onto the rail, 5 lengths off the leaders, and Lord Jane is up alongside of him. Past the stands in the Pacific Classic, and Alex Solis has Crafty Friend taking them along a length and a half, slowing them down just a little now. Siphon is right there on a tight hold in second. Gentleman in the blue cap going to have to run a little wide into the turn there. River Keen, meanwhile, scrapes the paint and sneaks through at the rail to take the third spot. And the long shot, Lord Jane, is last, but there's only 5 lengths separating them all. They head to the 3/4 pole, and Crafty Friend got it all his own way out here, not in any hurry. Crafty Friend by 2 lengths. Siphon and Chris McCarron just bowling along in the second spot. Here's River Keen in the red colors at the rail, only 2 lengths off the leaders. Gentleman is in the 4th spot. Gary Stevens niggling a little at Gentleman now. He's having to pick it up a bit in the 4th spot, and then there's another 4 back to Lord Jane. They run into the half-mile pole in the Pacific Classic, and it's still Crafty Friend, the leader. Chris McCarron still just sitting snug on Siphon. He's moving up on the outside now, and Siphon begins to breathe down the neck of Crafty Friend. Gentleman now makes his move, and now Siphon and Gentleman hook up with 5/16 of a mile to run. Crafty Friend is trying to hang tough at the rail, but the class of Siphon and Gentleman is just overwhelming. They turn heads for home in the Pacific Classic. Gentleman and Gary Stevens on the outside. Siphon and Chris McCarron at the rail. Homeward bound, and Gentleman has the better of Siphon with 1/8 of a mile to go. And Gentleman puts him away, and we are looking at one-class racehorse, perhaps the best racehorse in the universe. Gentleman and Gary Stevens, so impressive in the Pacific Classic. Siphon was second, Crafty Friend third, then it was Lord Jane, and River Keen finished last.
It's 1-2 again for trainer Richard Mandela's his super South American duo. Gentleman and Siphon dominate the Pacific Classic. Gentleman now with 3 straight Grade 1 victories, approaching $2.5 million in earnings. Let's get some post-race comments from Dick Mandela, and then a commitment from the owner, R.D. Hubbard.
It's some privilege to have these horses, I'll tell you. And it's just such a relief that they got their job done. You worry and sweat that with a great horse that you mess him up or make a mistake, do something wrong, and it's a great relief.
Well, it was very exciting. It was a great race, and again, it's Siphon and Gentleman there right together all the way until right at the end, and we pulled it away. And I tell you, the horse just gets better every race. So we're looking forward to the Breeders' Cup now. I think we're headed there.
Here are the Visa 3-year-old championship point standings. No changes at the top. The final race in the series coming up, the Travers in Saratoga, Saturday, August 23rd. You'll see it live right here on ESPN. The Racehorse Digest is brought to you by the American Quarter Horse Association, serving the American quarter horse racing industry and America's horse. By Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. Alan and Madeline Paulson's Brookside Farms. And by the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. Get away from the ordinary and discover the extraordinary Las Vegas. Call your travel agent today.
Well, Visa Gold bought you the clubs and the clothes and 3 rounds at breathtaking Pebble Beach. The one thing it couldn't buy you was a single decent shot.
I quit! Finish without me!
I can't. Those were my clubs.
Fortunately, it had enough purchasing power for your next set of clubs.
Graphite.
Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
Jade Hunter is another of the international stallions at Brookside Farms in Versailles, Kentucky. From his first 5 crops to race, Jade Hunter has sired 20 stakes horses, and his sons and daughters have won major stakes races in the United States, Japan, and Australia. A Grade 1 winning son of Mr. Prospector, Jade Hunter sired Grade 1 winners Stuka and Diazo in his first crop. Brookside Farms' Jade Hunter now has progeny earnings in excess of $8 million.
Mia Hamm spends 90 minutes destroying her hair and 90 seconds bringing it back with the shampoo that conditions too, Pert Plus. Because Mia wants great hair with plenty of time for other things. Don't you? Pert Plus. Simply great hair. Simply.
Dear Thompsons, I restore 1,200 decks a year, and nothing works for me like Thompson's wood finish colors.
Natural wood tones block graying, plus the waterproofing power of Thompson's.
Thompson's isn't just great for decks, it's great for business. Mike Letourneau.
A personal computer is your ticket to harness racing action. Explore the USTA's new computer bulletin board service, the Inside Track. Whether you own or breed horses, like to handicap, or are simply a fan, the Inside Track has features like entries, charts, news, email, and more. And you can surf our net free before joining and taking advantage of our 800 number and low connect charges. Fire up your modem and dial 614-222-6831. The Inside Track. Harness your PC to some real fun.
Back to the Thoroughbreds now with this week's coast-to-coast recap of the top stakes races. Let's begin in Saratoga, upstate New York. Saturdays feature the Grade 1 Sword Dancer Invitational for $250,000. The race for Thoroughbreds 3 and up at 1.5 miles on a firm turf course. The race favorite was Influent from the barn of trainer Howie Tesher. Here's Tom Durkin at Saratoga.
As the field turns for home, Influent is still holding on to the lead. Influent coming to the final furlong. Fahim is charging on through. Here comes the old pro, Awad on the outside. Bell Prince in tight quarters. Shoot back right there. Nothing left for Influent. Here comes Awad, and Awad takes the lead under a masterful ride by Pat Day to win the Sword Dancer by 2.
Awad is back, picking up his first stakes win since capturing the 1995 Grade 1 Arlington Million nearly 2 years ago. And he did it in course record time 2:23.1 here in the Sword Dancer at Saratoga. The 7-year-old horse by Caveat out of Dancer's Candy is owned by Rye Hill Farm, trained by David Dunn. Influent, the 5-2 favorite in the race, finished up 4th. Awad will head next to Illinois for another run at the Arlington Million August 24th. Saturday at Saratoga, the Grade 2A Phenomenon. 3-year-olds and up at a distance of 6 furlongs, $100,000 in the purse. 7 entries going to the start. Jockey Robbie Davis on the 4-5 favorite here, Punchline.
The field coming to the top of the stretch. On the outside, Cold Execution. On the inside, Punchline. And those two head for home together. Just in behind, Royal Haven. Elajou down toward the inside. Diligence out in the center of the track. Into the final furlong, Cold Execution. Roused to a short lead. Punchline down inside. Here comes Royal Haven charging hard. Down to the final 16th. It's Royal Haven who has taken the lead. Royal Haven in front and going away under a hustling Richard Migliore to win it at the end by a length and a half. Cold Execution second, Punchline third.
Royal Haven at odds of 5-1 takes the A Phenomenon by 1 3/4 lengths. The dark brown gelding, one of the toboggan handicap, ran the 6 furlongs in 1:09.3. Royal Haven trained by Gaspar Mochera, owned by Barbara Davis. Richard Migliore was up for the victory here. The favorite Punchline finishing 3rd, while Nick Zito's Diligence, owned by the Yankees' George Steinbrenner, had to settle for 4th place. Well, Sunday at Saratoga Racecourse, the Grade 2 Boston Spa Breeders' Cup. Open to fillies and mares 3 and up. Purse worth $200,000 at 1 16 on the turf. John Kimmel's Anti-Spend, the 7-5 choice here. Tom Durkin with the call.
Anti-Spend trying to do it all the way on the lead, and she heads for home with Captive Number hard on her heels. Then Dance Clear, Valor Lady on the outside, Rumpy Pumpy at the rail. Into the final furlong. Anti-Spend still clinging to the lead. Valor Lady is full of run on the outside. Anti-Spend bracing for the challenge. Valor Lady getting by her. Valor Lady taking the lead. Anti-Spend second on the line. Valor Lady the winner by a long neck. Anti-Spend second. Rumpy Pumpy third.
John and Jerome Ammerman's Valor Lady victorious by half a length over John Kimmel's favorite Anti-Spend. Valor Lady, trained by Mark Hennig and ridden by John Velasquez, covers the mile and a 16th at 1:39.2. 5-year-old mare by Sir Ivor out of Hot Option won the March 29th Hialeah Breeders' Cup Handicap, then was 5th last time out in the June 22nd Locust Grove at Churchill Downs. Boston Spa comes a first-time Greatest Stakes win for this bay mare. Out to Del Mar now for the 26th running of the Grade 3 $100,000 Rancho Bernardo Handicap. It's the 3-year-olds and up, going 6.5 furlongs on the main track. The favorite, Track Gal, sped to an early lead and holds off the rest of the field under jockey Gary Stevens. Racing's newest Hall of Fame jockey, winning this race for the 3rd year in a row. Track Gal won the July 16th Terlingua Stakes at Hollywood in her first start after a 5-month layup. 3 for 3 at Del Mar coming into the race, and now a perfect 2 for 2 at this distance. He ran it in a time of 1:15.3. 6-year-old mare by Track Baron out of Golden Galaxy, trained by John Sadler, owned by Robert Phipps and William Oldnow. Track Gal, 2-time winner of the race. To Oklahoma City now for Sunday's $300,000 Remington Park Derby, 3-year-olds at a mile and 3/16. On the lead, the race favorite Frank Stronach's Wild Rush under jockey Gary Stevens, the Illinois Derby winner.
Wild Rush has the lead by 3/4 of a length. Wilt the Tilt is next in second. Then Blazing Sword on the inside is Wild Rush. Draws clear as they come to the top of the stretch, and Blazing Sword tries to stay up with him. It's Wild Rush and Gary Stevens by 2 as they enter the stretch. Gary Boulanger and Blazing Sword next. The others are quite far back. They straighten away at the top of the stretch of the Remington Park Derby. Wild Rush is put to the test. Blazing Sword to the outside, tries to get by him. Wild Rush still has some daylight lead. Up to the outside is Blazing Sword. The others are far back. Wild Rush comes to the wire with the lead of the Remington Park Derby. Blazing Sword of Valley in second. It will be Wild Rush holding sway.
Wild Rush holds off Blazing Sword to win the 9th Remington Park Derby. This Son of Wild, again, a $430,000 Keeneland yearling purchase owned by Canadian Frank Stronach. He continues his incredible spring, also, of course, owning the Belmont and Haskell winner, Touch Gold. Wild Rush's win in Oklahoma capped off a big weekend for trainer Dick Mandela and jockey Gary Stevens. Of course, they teamed up to win Saturday's $1 million Pacific Classic with Gentlemen. The Breeders' Cup National Stakes program visits Emerald Downs in Washington this weekend. The week after, Calder Race Course in Florida.
Terrific. Sorry, I'm psyched to quit smoking, and now I read here I can't use this patch. It's not for light smokers.
You picked up the wrong box. That's Nicotrol. You want Nicoderm CQ.
CQ's not just for heavy smokers?
No, Nicoderm CQ has 3 strengths. Light smokers can start
with the Step 2 box.
Right. 6 weeks here, 2 here, and free of nicotine.
I like that plan.
Nicoderm CQ. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to quit successfully.
Shadid's going to win it. Shadid from bed in a podium.
Anne Klein's latest prescription sunglasses, fashioned in about an hour at LensCrafters. The Anne Klein Prescription Sun Event at LensCrafters.
He doesn't really talk about his hair, but I know he thinks about it. That's why he uses Pantene Pro V. The Pro Vitamin formula penetrates, improving hair, keeping it looking really healthy, shiny, strong. Pantene Pro V, for hair so healthy it shines.
Don't just sit there. Get connected with the Handicapper's Daily Racing Form, the new Windows program for your PC. Now you won't feel trapped when it's time to play the horses. Simply call via modem and download the track of your choice. In moments, you'll be handicapping like a pro with the form's great features, plus buyer speed figures and super consensus for selections based on speed, pace, class, and form. Don't get stalled. Call 1-800-646-0518 to order your Handicapper's Daily Racing Form. It's your electronic information source for the next 100 years.
I'm Dave Johnson. Let's get up to speed on what's happening in the world of harness racing. The most prestigious event in all of harness racing, the $1 million Hambletonian for 3-year-old trotters, was the marquee event on last weekend's harness calendar. And for owner Malvern Burrows, a place in the record book was waiting as he went to the post with his undefeated favorite, Malabar Man. Looking to become just the second amateur driver to enter the winner's circle in the race's 72-year history, Burroughs and Malabar Man were the overwhelming 3 to 10 choices. But following the front step and bowling for dollars around the final turn, the favorites found themselves stuck on the rail with a wall of horses blocking them on the outside with less than a quarter of a mile to go.
3/4, 1:27 and 1. 3/16 to go, and they're on their way home. Bowling for dollars still leads it. Malabar Man needs some room, trying to skim the cones. Then up on the outside, take chances. In deep dredge, take chances. Homebrew Plato, here comes Malabar Man on the inside. And it is Malabar Man and Malvin Burroughs. They win the Hamiltonian.
2 decades after he literally drove the bulldozers and built the Meadowlands, Malvin Burroughs made history over the same racing surface, driving Malabar Man to victory in the Hamiltonian. Last Saturday afternoon's Hamiltonian Day crowd of nearly 27,000 fans barely could make up their minds on which horse should be favored in the $500,000 Hamiltonian Oaks for 3-year-old fillies. The 7 to 5 shot no-nonsense woman cut all the fractions and carried a 1.5 length lead coming off the final turn. But the slight 6 to 5 favorite, Must Be Victory, pulled out to make the final charge, and the race to the wire was on.
In deep stretch, no-nonsense woman and Jim Doherty on the outside. Must Be Victory and Bert Lindstedt. No-nonsense woman and Must Be Victory. Must Be Victory on the outside. Up by a whisker to win it.
Owned by Minnesota Vikings owner John Skoglund and his wife Adelaide, Must Be Victory won for the 4th straight time and knocked 4/5 of a second off the stakes record set last year by Moneymaker. It was just the 2nd time that the Oaks winner went faster than the Hamiltonian winner since the filly division was inaugurated back in 1971. Westgate Crown prevailed by a head over Moneymaker in their previous confrontation in the Breeders' Crown. But in the rematch on Hamiltonian Day, it was the 4-year-old mare who was in command down the stretch, with the Crown champion making a late bid to challenge in the $312,500 Nat Ray final.
In deep stretch, it's Moneymaker and Wally Hennessy. Far outside Georgia Limited, but Moneymaker, the mare, wins it in 1:52 and 2.
Owned by the Moneymaker stable of Connecticut, the impressive mare held on to beat her rival in 1:52 and 2, just a 1/5 of a second off the stakes record set last year by Oakley Count. The Hamiltonian Day program had some top pacing stakes on the card as well, including the $125,000 opening leg of the U.S. Pacing Championship for older horses, which saw the hard-hitting 5-year-old Toontown overtake the pace-setting G.G. Digger in deep stretch and beat 13 rivals to the wire in a career best of 149 and 1. Owned by Anthony Catronio of New York, Toontown now has a record of 6 wins, 10 seconds, and 5 third-place finishes in 26 starts on the season for earnings of over $434,000. In the $346,000 final of the Mistletoe Chalet on Hamiltonian Day, the undefeated 3-year-old pacer Sanibel Island was looking to equal Handle with Care's filly record of 24 straight victories. But she got locked in and couldn't get out until it was too late, as Steinham's Place beat Keep Your Pans Off by a neck in 1:51 and 2. Steinham's Place joined the great Miss Easy as the only fillies to win the Sweetheart Pace at 2 and the Mistletoe Chalet the following season. Ladbroke at the Meadows held their prestigious Adios Pace on August 2nd, named this year in honor of the late, great Delvin Miller. And there was a lot of controversy involving the division's top 2 colts. After finishing second to North America Cup winner Gothic Dream in his elimination, Meadowlands Pace winner Dream Away romped to an apparent 5.5 length triumph. But after a 5-minute judge's inquiry, Dream Away was disqualified and placed 8th for interfering with Gothic Dream in the race's first quarter mile. Owner Marvin Katz has filed an appeal with the Pennsylvania Harness Racing Commission, and the purses are being held until a final review.
His first big budget action movie.
his first fight for America. His first global mission. Jackie Chan's First Strike, rated PG-13.
Welcome to America, sir.
I'm sorry, I have only Deutschmarks. Is good?
In our country, you can also tip with a fine beer, something special, like a Stroh's.
For more taste and more character, there's only Stroh's.
It's fire brewed.
Well then, a Stroh's for you.
Dankeschön, sir.
Unscrew a fire brew.
Fire brewed.
Dankeschön, darling, Dankeschön.
The early season leader, Alex Zanardi, a late season rush. Now, it gets interesting. The Texaco Haviland 200, Sunday at 3:30 on ESPN.
Sorry, I'm psyched to quit smoking, and now I read here I can't use this patch. It's not for light smokers.
You picked up the wrong box. That's Nicotrol. You want Nicoderm CQ.
CQ's not just for heavy smokers?
No, Nicoderm CQ has 3 strengths. Light smokers can start
with the step 2 box.
Right. 6 weeks here, 2 here, and free of nicotine.
I like that plan.
Nicoderm CQ. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to quit successfully.
Shadid's going to win it. Shadid from bed and
Anne Klein's latest prescription sunglasses. Fashioned in about an hour. At LensCrafters. The Anne Klein Prescription Sun Event at LensCrafters.
He doesn't really talk about his hair, but I know he thinks about it. That's why he uses Pantene Pro V. The Pro Vitamin formula penetrates, improving hair, keeping it looking really healthy, shiny, strong. Pantene Pro V, for hair so healthy it shines.
Don't just sit there. Get connected with the Handicapper's Daily Racing Form, the new Windows program for your PC. Now you won't feel trapped when it's time to play the horses. Simply call via modem and download the track of your choice. In moments, you'll be handicapping like a pro with the form's great features, plus buyer speed figures and super consensus for selections based on speed, pace, class, and form. Don't get stalled. Call 1-800-646-0518 to order your Handicapper's Daily Racing Form. It's your electronic information source for the next 100 years.
Back on the Racehorse Digest, let's move to our quarter horse recap section now. The MBNA America Racing Challenge highlights the week's action. Regional competition held in the distance divisions. Well, the first 2 finishers advanced to the distance challenge finals. They'll be held at Los Alamitos in Southern California, November 1st. We begin now with our distance regionals, starting in Idaho at LeBois Park. The 9-5 favorite, number 2, Stylus, from the inside of the field of 8.
On the turn into the stretch, they come with Stylus on the lead. Truly's Reba now rolling in the middle of the racetrack in deep stretch. 16th of a mile to go. Stylus, Truly's Reba trying to get at him late. It is Stylus followed by Truly's Reba. Those 2 qualify for the Nationals November 1st at Los Alamitos.
Stylus under jockey Berkeley Packer takes it gate to wire to win by a length and a half, missing the track record by just 3/100ths of a second. This 5-year-old is owned by Dennis Jensen, trained by one of the Northwest best, Lynn Melton. Meanwhile, at Sam Houston Race Park, the favorite I've Been Blessed on the rail, the 3/4 brother to the Idaho winner, Stylus.
They're at the top of the stretch and headed for home. Leading Sensation now overtaken by I've Been Blessed. I've Been Blessed on the inside on top, a length and a half. Leading Sensation racing in second. Wild Card Man coming through on the rail. It's I've Been Blessed looking very impressive on top by 4.
A great weekend for the White Oaks Ranch. Breeder of both Stylus and I've Been Blessed. Both produced by the outstanding mare Trippy Dip. Gilbert Ortiz rode I've Been Blessed for owner Steve Chavez, trainer John Steinball. So here are the 6 qualifiers now so far for the Challenge Distance Finals. 1 more regional set to be run next weekend at Los Alamitos. And speaking of that Southern California track, they conducted 3 trials for the Grade 1 Governor's Cup Derby. Love a Secret, already a double Derby winner this season, headed to first trial.
And away they go. Alamitos Score came away well, and so did Love is Secret, I'm All Dumb, and Kiki's Dash and Ryan's Rhythm are all right there, but Love is Secret now has his mind on running. He's striding along as easily as you can, and Love is Secret and Jim Lewis will totally annihilate the field with Alamitos Score second. On for third was Timothy Pilot.
Love a Secret destroys his trial field under Jim Lewis, posting the fastest 400-yard qualifying time, 19 and 8200 seconds. Second finisher, Alamitos Score, at the 10th best clocking. Love a Secret is trained by Bob Gilbert for owner Spencer Childers. They also qualified last year's champion 2-year-old gelding Uncas for the August 22nd Governor's Cup Finals. The American Quarter Horse Association has a toll-free number for you to call for more information on quarter horse racing. There it is, 1-800-414-RIDE.
Lads, British man of war passing Skull Point. Find the cannon. I can see my room from here.
Let me show you my Vegas.
Nice of them to light the whole place up for me.
First time to Vegas?
Yes. And you?
My third. My 44th trip.
Winner, winner, lobster dinner.
So much deal. People are so exciting.
Mine's a blue convertible.
And you, my lad, have to walk the plank.
No need to spit. Anything, all the time. That's Las Vegas.
It's time to meet the challenge. The MBNA America Quarter Horse Racing Challenge. Nominate your horse today for the rest of his life.
He was the man in the middle when Tyson bit Holyfield's ear. You'll meet him up close later today. Mills Lane at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. We'll see you then.
The Racehorse Digest is being brought to you by the United States Trotting Association, leading the way in harness racing. By Nicoderm CQ Stop Smoking Patch. You bring a commitment. CQ brings the rest. And by Gainsborough Farm. In our Brookside News Thoroughbred update, one of the sport's top jockeys, Corey Nakatani, received one of the toughest penalties ever handed out in Southern California. He has been suspended for the rest of the Del Mar meeting that is through September 10th. It was because of this incident during a race on August 3rd at Del Mar. You see Nakatani on the inside, and in front of him, 20-year-old apprentice jockey Ryan Barber. On policymakers seem to cut off Nakatani here. Well, Corey took some exception to this. Apparently some bad blood in the past. Take a look now as Corey rides over, makes contact, and Barber goes down. You'll get a closer look here and just see how hard Barber hits the ground. Nakatani started serving his almost month-long suspension this past Monday. Barber has now filed misdemeanor civil charges against Nakatani. Well, let's take you back to the racetrack now to catch up with a retired millionaire thoroughbred who has a new career.
Past the 8th pole they come, and Del Mar Dennis continues to look very solid on the lead. And it's Del Mar Dennis out here moving like a winner.
Those are the glory days for Del Mar Dennis, the son of Dixieland Band, who in his career was a 7-time stakes winner, including 3 straight victories in the San Bernardino. Del Mar Dennis earned over $1 million for his owners, Trudy McCaffrey and John Toffman. He retired this spring at age 7. The gelding now with a second vocation in the world of show jumping.
He's happy. He's sort of, you know, mellowed out. And he just sort of adjusts to his new life. And he's such a pro about everything he does that he's taken to this the same way he did at the racetrack.
For Trudy, it's not just the thrill of seeing her horses cross the finish line first, but also seeing their talents flourish in new careers when their racing days are over.
It's so gratifying to see these horses go on and have another life. And they don't have to be beautiful. They don't have to be perfect. So I really think more people are becoming aware, too, of what is available for horses after their race life.
Another recent retiree from the racetrack for Trudy McCaffrey is Pueblo Echo, the son of former Grade 1 winner Eastern Echo. Only 8 weeks off the track, already he's a winner in his first championship in the Hunter division. For Del Mar, Dennis, and Trudy, a historical moment. They take the first of many jumps.
There are homes for these horses, and they can want to do something. They can be a trail horse. They can be, you know, anything you want them to be.
Trudy McCaffrey, she has such a love for the thoroughbred on and off the track. We got some exciting racing action coming up for you Labor Day weekend on ESPN2. 2-day at the races, Sunday, August 31st, live at 6:30. Then coming up with some exciting news from Labor Day, it's America's Day at the races, live on ESPN2 at 5 Eastern. And don't forget, quarter horse racing fans on Labor Day, 2-day at the races featuring the All-American Futurity, 5:30 from Ruidoso Downs, New Mexico. Ground transportation provided by Thrifty Car Rental with airport and neighborhood locations worldwide. For reservations, call your travel agent or 1-800-4-CARS. Air transportation provided by Western Pacific Airlines. You'll enjoy Western Pacific's young and colorful Boeing jet fleet, and you'll love their low fares to cities coast to coast. Gentleman wins the $1 Million Pacific Classic. He's America's #1 thoroughbred. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.